This is a smartphone. A smartphone, for those of you who may not know. This thing has the capabilities of accessing a very, very, very large output of information. A figurative library, if you will. All within this one device. Yes. This thing also has the capabilities of communicating with people miles upon miles upon miles away from your home. Whether or not they be from Asia, or Africa, or Australia, New Zealand, even Norway. Hell, Iceland if you wanted to. The point I'm trying to get across here is that humanity, in the past 100 years, has grown to become such an advanced civilization here on the planet. And look, we've gone from going to the library, walking like 10 blocks to the mile to the library, having to search through all these different assortments of old, new books, just, going on your smartphone and looking up the definition of blue waffle. We've gone from sending letters to one another from different continents to run a business, which would take months at a time, to, just... Hold on a minute. Just, down out the north, just calling them up to tell them to do something online. Make business negotiations and whatnot. Oh, did I mention this thing's a camera too? And just think of it. Like 150 years ago, whenever the camera was first made, it was like this big. It was like this huge box that you had to put a scarf over in order to see the picture clear, and it just... Oh, the powder that just went with it too was an absolute danger to the person who was getting his picture taken too. But now look at this shit. Hold on a minute. Look at this shit. It's in color too. Come on. Alright? It's in color. Now, one question I want to ask you is, oh yeah, another thing. This thing is able to hold up to 4 gigabytes. Right now I have about 615 songs on here. Your average record can hold about, what, 5, 6, 7 songs. This, another technological advancement. I have an entire library of music all on this small little black device that I've had for like 4 months. It's starting to break. And look, the back's gone. This back used to be black. Now I just scratched off the plastic covering for it. Now, a question I want to ask you is, as a civilization who has advanced technologically greatly over the past couple hundred years, why isn't it that we can't seem to perfect the art of a simple little device? Simple yet ingenious. A pencil. See, back in the days, people could choose to write with, charcoal, sharpened pieces of charcoal, and of course, ink, ink and a feather. That's how the Declaration was signed. But, this is a technological advancement because, unlike with ink, you can actually erase your work and try again. But after all this time, after this ingenious creation was created, we still can't seem to figure out how to make it right. This is what has been really grinding my gears lately. Alright? Let me show you a bit of what annoys me about this thing. Number one, this is a big one for me. The eraser. Alright? Now, there are 2 types of erasers. Alright? There are these erasers. They're rubbery. They're small. They're soft. They feel good. They're sort of, damp. And they erase shit. They erase it. That's the most important part about this thing. Is that they erase it. Alright? Then you have these. These here, they're dry. They're crackly. They're rough. They smudge your work. For a college student, this is a nightmare. Because you know, at certain universities, you have these professors who get tenure who demand absolute perfection from the students. This is a nightmare to them, to the students that go to that class, alright? There's just a little smudge or a little mistake, it severely affects their grade. I should know this. My brother went to college. He ended up flunking a class because of this. Alright? But thankfully, you know, you can always have one of these on hand to erase what this one drew. Whereas if you don't need to use. Actually, you know what? What I was trying to get though, you can always have one of these on hand to erase the smudges that this one made. That's a little problem solver right there. But there's a third kind of pencil that I don't have right now. Alright? It's basically like the last eraser, which is smooth, rough, dry. Here's the thing, it has dye in it. Dye! Not only does it smudge your work, it colors it in a little bit too. This is beyond hell for college students. This is like fucking watching a Jersey Shore marathon for like 15 hours straight. You know, being strapped into the back of your chair and just having your eyes forcibly opened with mechanical claws, iodine being dipped in to assure that you don't go blind and whatever. Why? It's unimaginable. It's annoying. It's unfathomably horrible that these kind of pencils exist. Alright? Person who first thought of using cheap material for pencils deserves a frontal lobotomy. What's it called? Yeah, swift draw and quarter. Yes. Another thing about pencils is, let me see if I can find one here. The kind of lead it has, alright? Now, for those of you who may know, back then they used actual lead for pencils, but you know, kids start chewing on that thing and they start getting lead poisoning and dying everywhere and shit. So they decided to go with graphite as a substitute for lead. This was amazing. But there are different kinds of graphites that go into certain pencils, and you know, it all depends upon the manufacturer of the pencil. Certain manufacturers use a recycled type of graphite, which you can tell right here by seeing how sort of recycled the wood looks, sort of how it looks sort of plastic and stuff like that. It's a good indication that the graphite is, you know, cheap and sucky. These kinds of pencils will not draw on anything. I know this because I've had pencils like this before. More than often. Another thing that really annoys me about pencils are the sharpeners, alright? There are many different types of sharpeners that you can have. Like, you know, hold on here. Forget. You have those hand crank sharpeners that you can hold in your backpack. Those are, they're, or better, you can just use a freaking knife or whatever to cut and sharpen your pencils. Let me see what else here. You can clip a little bit off here. Hold on. Got a little pair of scissors in there somewhere. Yeah, these little scissors, you know, you can clip away little parts of the pencil, you know, to get sharp. And you know, you have those crap-tasticular pencil sharpeners that they have at schools. Like, you know, stick it in, grind it up. Now, there's a little trick to sharpening your pencil with those things. You have to sharpen them for a certain amount of time. If you sharpen them for too long, the wood starts riding up on the pencil like that. See? See, it has a sort of a curved shape as opposed to the flat. And you can't get to your lead, and you can't use most of your lead if this happens. That's what really annoys me. And of course, you always have the good old trusty electric pencil sharpener here. Hold on, go through all these wires and stuff here. This here, it's a Boston model. I don't know if you can. Now you can't see it. I don't have the pins just out of yeah. Now you can also get yourself a, what are they called again? X-Acto pencil sharpeners, electric pencil sharpeners. Those were good too. Yeah. And one last thing that really annoys me about pencils is the stupid freaking decals that they have on the freaking pencils. It's annoying because sometimes it'll get really humid in the classroom, and with certain pencils, the decal is actually, you know, paint, and it'll rub off on your fingers, and your fingers will get all discolored and stuff, and you'll won't even know where now this is a new pencil, which is FDA approved or whatever type of paint that won't cause infections and other sort of nasty diseases, or maybe it's an old one that just completely disregarded the rules back then because there weren't any, and you might end up getting yourself tetanus or whatever. But you know, then you know there are other kind of decals here that actually peel off, and it's really annoying for me because my autism, I have sort of an obsessive compulsive sort of thing where I have to peel off the decal in order to continue writing. I don't know why I do this, but yeah. So that's my review of what annoys me about pencils. And I'm Batterberry-Hecimovich, and I'll see you later.